Right, today we will continue the Sīla virtue, means it's the good quality, good morality. Even though it is not the part of meditation, but as mentioned before, it is a base of doing good deeds. And based on Sīla, people can get good concentration. So Buddha's teaching is Sīla, Samadhi, Panya. Based on Sīla, morality, virtue, then one can get good concentration. And based on Sīla and Samadhi, then one get Panya. All right. So never just try to skip the Sīla. Last time we skipped the Sīla is because there are a few reasons why I skip because I also not sure the length of time I did the Visuddhimagga in the previous 2 years ago. So, and I think the request is more on meditation. But since this time, I prefer to make it as a certificate. And also because there are some new students, so I think it's good to go for the basic again. All right. So for the today, the notes actually I just copy from Visuddhimagga, but since there are much information, I just copy some which I think is important and which I think we can use it as a part of the practice as well. I will put the number there. So when you see the number like 21, 22, you can refer to the Visuddhimagga Path of Purification. If you had that book, you can just open the book. Okay, I will share the screen now. Actually, I put online already. Okay. So lesson 3. So I put the Pali here because sometimes I think this is on the paragraph number 8. All right. So if you see the Visuddhimagga, the path of purification, it will be on the number 8. Okay, so you can just follow the numbers there. Anyway, okay. All right, now. So when I read the English, I think when I read the Pali is for easier. Okay. For example, in Pali, discipline. What is discipline? This one is Vinayo, right? Then what's the purpose of discipline? For the purpose of restraint, samvara. Then restraint is for purpose of non-remorse, so avipatisara. Then for gladdening, pamoja. Then for tranquility. Then piti. So tranquility will be happiness will be here as pamoja, then piti, then pasadi, sukha, samadhi, and then so on. All right. So when somebody have morality or virtue or sila, so I use the Pali word sila. So sila actually it can be calculated as a vinaya discipline. So discipline means somebody has like monk sila or lay people sila or some kind of rules and regulation they can follow. Now, why do we follow the discipline? Is because we want to have restrain our, like previously we say, the purpose of sila, morality, virtue is to restrain from us doing the bad action by body and speech. So it's a restraint here. And once we have restraint, we will not have any remorse. Remorse means that your mind will have doubts about your morality. Then your mind will feel great. Then you got joy, happiness. All right. Then after that, piti. Piti here translates happiness. Then you got pasadi, right? Tranquility. So when we see like this, actually in the jhana factors, there will be piti, okay? And then there will be sukha in jhana factor. So all these actually will help you to gain good jhanic state or near to jhana. Even though you are not in jhana, but at least you will get some piti and pasadi. So happiness, tranquility, and bliss. And then when your mind is calm and happy because of your good discipline, your good morality, then you will get concentration. Make it bigger. Okay. So one lead to another. When you get concentration, then concentration means you can see, you can focus your mind on one object clearly. Then you can get the knowledge and vision about that object like nama rupa. You can see anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanent, suffering, non-self. Then after that, you get dispassion, means free from greed. Then you get vimutti, right? Deliverance and knowledge and vision. So like this kind of paragraph, it shows us the purpose of end result. There is a as complete extinction of craving through the non-clinging. So that's why discipline in form of Sīla, morality, it will have this kind of sequence or action. So all this actually, the text here, actually all this text is actually from the Tipitaka, one of the sutta here. Okay. So never look down on the discipline. Discipline will lead us to a lot of very good results. Okay, that's on the paragraph number 8. Now, number 9. So it talks about different types of different level, right? So if we say inferior sila, morality or virtue, is produced by jia. Jia is chanda. And then consciousness will be chitta, right? Then energy will be vimansa, viriya. Inquiry will be vimansa. So you can see how morality or virtue or sila will lead to these 4. Chanda, chitta, viriya, vimansa. So we call it 4 adipati. So this is called 4 predominant. So when these 4, right, jia, consciousness, when these 4 are very strong, so the sila will be very strong also. So you can check yourself. Is your chanda strong? Is your chitta strong? Is your virya, energy strong, or vimansa? Vimansa means investigation. Sometimes we use the word investigation of the Dhamma. Right? You contemplate on your nama rupa, try to see anicca, dukkha, anatta. And then the text explain. So if something is motivated by craving, just want to enjoy the continued existence, so it's inferior. But you practice the Sīla for the purpose of own deliverance in medium. But like the Bodhisattva, they practice it for the deliverance of all beings. So Bodhisattva Sīla will be superior, the highest one. Okay. And also, if you practice out of self-regard, by one who regards self and desire to abandon what is becoming, unbecoming to self, is giving precedence to self. But if somebody practice for the world, means for the benefits of others, and to ward off the censor of the world is a virtue giving precedence to the world. So one is you give preference to yourself, another preference for others. Now, in this text, there are many different categories and a lot of information. So what we do is we take whatever is suitable for us and what we can use. Okay. And then if you practice out for the Dhamma and our desire to honor the majesty of Dhamma is a virtue, giving precedence to the Dhamma. Okay. And then there's so on. Okay, now I invite few students to read. All right. So 36. Who is here? Okay, Cindy, you can read. Cindy Yo. Yeah.
Thank you, Sajaji.
Mm.
That is fulfilled by one who has committed no offense or has made amends after committing one is pure. So long as he has not made amends after committing an offense, it is impure. Virtue in one who is dubious about whether a thing constitutes an offense or about what grades of offense has been committed or about whether he has committed an offense is dubious. Herein, the meditator should purify impure virtue. If dubious, he should avoid cases about which he is doubtful and should get his doubts cleared up. In this way, his mind will be kept at rest.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you.
So yes, sometimes if we have commit no fault, okay, then our morality or sila is pure. But if we commit something wrong, then we should try to make amends. All right. So it's important. So in a way, it will cancel the mistake that we make. Right. So if we have not made any amends, so it's impure. right? So it's something that you are not sure, it's called dubious. So a meditator should purify impure virtue. So it's very important. Let's say if you maybe 5 precept or 8 precept, then you break 1 precept. What you should do, you should if your teacher is there, maybe you ask forgiveness from teacher. If teacher is not there, you go to the Buddha statue and pay respect to Buddha and try to make amends. And then you also make a vow, try to purify your morality. So a meditation should purify impure virtue. So it's very important. Because if you don't get your doubts clear off, then your mind always have doubt. So once you get it clear off, then your mind will be at rest, means your mind will be peaceful. Okay? So it's very important to make your mind peaceful. Why? Because we don't know what time we are going off. Sometimes accident might happen, we might die anytime. Even if you are not doing any good deeds, at least make sure your mind is peaceful, because of if you have good morality, good virtue, good sila, then your mind shall have peaceful. Okay, so Subang, you can read this one, 41.
The non-transgression on the part of Uttara Kuru human beings is natural virtue. Each clan or locality or sect own rules of conduct are customary virtue. The virtue of the Bodhisattva's mother described thus. It is the necessary rule, Ananda, that when the Bodhisattva has descended into his mother's womb, no thought of man that is connected with the court of sense desires comes to her. Is necessary virtue. But the virtue of such pure beings as Mahakassapa, etc., and of the Bodhisattva in his various births is virtue due to previous causes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Uttara Kuru is in the Tipitaka, you mentioned about got such race. It seems that they are staying at the Uttara means northern side. But actually, up now we also not sure where is it. But the people there are long life. Because of their long life, that's why they have long life, because they have virtue, their natural virtue. So because of that, they can live for a long time. Right? So this is one of the story mentioned there. So normally, if we have our own rules and regulations, so this called customary virtue. Now about Bodhisattva, the Mahamaya. So uh, when she become pregnant with the Prince Siddhartha, then at that time her mind is totally pure. So this is called necessary virtue, because it's like we call it, her womb is like a throne for the future Buddha. So that's why it must be necessary for her mind totally be pure without any sense desire. So this is called necessary virtue, because at that time she had no thought of other men at all. Now, Mahakassapa and Bodhisattva, this is a previous cause, because of due to their perfection, due to their parami, so they naturally observe the precept well. Like Mahakassapa, he became enlightened. He was the third disciple in the Buddha time. So after that, he even departed from his wife. Is it? Sorry, not his wife. Sorry, there was another story. So yeah, okay. Anyway, for Bodhisattva, because of their precept, they always observe in the past. So naturally, they can observe precept very well. So yeah, not this Mahakassapa. There was another story. Okay. Now, this one, number 42, this is for the bhikkhu only, okay? Patimokkha restraint is a proper conduct and resort, and seeing fear in the slightest fault. So this is a virtue of patimokkha restraint. So this one is to do with the bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. So for you all lay people, no need to worry about this. But we can train is on this B part, all right? So Thomas, you can read this one, B.
The virtue of restraint of the sense faculties. On seeing a visible object with the eye, he apprehends neither the signs nor the particulars through which, if he left the eye faculty unguarded, evil and unprofitable states of covetousness and grief might invade him. He enters upon the way of his restraint. He guards the eye faculty. Abstinence from such wrong livelihood as entails transgression of the 6 training precepts announced with respect to livelihood and entails the evil states beginning with
Okay.
scheming,
Yeah, can read, yes.
scheming, talking, hinting, belittling, pursuing gain with gain is virtue of livelihood purification.
Okay. So for any meditator or lay people, so we can do is we restrain our sense faculty. Sense faculty means eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So when you see an object, you neither apprehend, means you don't catch the sign or particular. So later we'll explain about this. So because if somebody leave it unguarded, so never guard it, so the akusala state, there is the covetousness. Covetousness means craving. Grief means grief will be more on dosa based, like so it means that abhidhamma one will be lobha and one dosa. So covetousness and grief so might invade him, right? So he need to enter the way. He need to guide the eye. Now on this, so briefly speaking, so when we practice vipassana, so we should maintain the mindfulness at the moment we see something, the moment we hear something. So we just try to see things coming to the mind, like the visible object, touch the eye, and so on. So when you continue your mindfulness, you nod and nod and nod, then you have no time to like going to see how this person look like and what's the behavior of this person and so on and so on. Okay, that is for when you are doing the intensive meditation. But in worldly life, of course, you need to see this and talk with this person and so on. This is talking about when we are in intensive meditation. And this one is more this is to do with the bhikkhu, all right, monks, how because they are talking, hinting in order to get something. So this is called livelihood purification, should avoid this kind of thing. Now, this one is 4 requisites. So on this passage on this, today I'm going to quite fast because I think this is just for general knowledge only. So there are 4 requisites. One of the is rope, okay, and so on. Okay. So here is just mentioned briefly. Okay. So I think we can just skip it. Now, the terms bhikkhu. The terms bhikkhu is one thing. So if somebody like a bhikkhu means he wear the ropes and so on, torn, because the rope is actually a piece of rope you cut and piece together. So this is actually, when you see the rope is cut it and paste together and sew it together like the shape of the paddy field. So that's the meaning here. Means literally the meaning of bhikkhu. But in the commentary, it says if somebody sees the fear in the rounds or rebirth, a clansman means refer to any person, lay person, he gone out of faith, also can call as bhikkhu. But this is in a very general terms. Of course, you all don't call yourself as bhikkhu, but I mean that's the meaning of definition given according to this Pali commentary. All right. But normally bhikkhu refer to the ordained person. And need to have proper conduct and resort to way and bodily and verbal. Now, I think this part will be more good. And what is a proper conduct for any, let's say here is talking about bhikkhu, all right? So this part is on bhikkhu, but I think this part will be more on meditator also. Okay, this part is meditator. So I think I invite another person to read. Doris? Yes. Yeah.
His eyes are downcast. He has a good deportment. He guards the doors of his sense faculties. He knows the right measure in eating. He is devoted to wakefulness. possesses mindfulness and full awareness. Once later, is contented, is strenuous, is a careful observer of good behavior, and treats the teachers with great respect. This is called proper conduct.
Okay, thank you. Right.
Thank you.
Okay. So the first part is talking about a meditator, and second part is talking about a yogi. All right. Meditator means a yogi, how he should behave. So when you are doing intensive meditation, so you should keep your eyes downcast, because if you are looking around, you might see something, you might have attachment or hatred. So better keep your eye downcast, so reduce the object. Then good posture. So like just now we say, you need to guard the sense faculty. When you see something, hear something, you also need to eat right measure. Because as a meditator, if you eat too much, then you feel too full, then you feel too sleepy. If you are eating too less, you feel hungry. Right? So you need to know the right measure. And also you need to always, the moment you wake up, you keep your mind as much in a state of wakefulness with mindfulness and so on. So process mindfulness and full awareness. And once later, so it's very important, not only for bhikkhu, even for meditator or any person. All right. So contented and also have good behavior, and also very important, treat the teachers. All right. Whether you're a worldly teacher or meditation teacher. So this is called proper conduct. So from this paragraph, we also need to know the behavior of Sīla for monks or meditator. Okay. Now, then the paragraph 49, he's talking about 3 kinds of proper resort. All right. So, Jason Chan. Okay. Can you read, Jason Chan?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
A proper resort is 3 kinds of proper resort: as support, proper resort as guarding, and a proper resort as anchoring. Herein, what is proper resort as support? A good friend will exhibit the instances of talk in whose presence one hear what has not been heard, correct what has been heard, get rid of doubt, ratify one's view, and gain confidence on by training under whom one grows in faith, virtue, learning, generosity, and understanding. This is called proper resort as support. Thank you.
You can continue this one, 50 also. Yes.
What is proper resort as guarding? Here, a bhikkhu having entered inside a house, having gone into a street, goes with the downcast eyes, seeing the length of plough yoke, restrained, not looking at an elephant and not looking at a horse, a carriage, a pedestrian, and a woman, a man, and not looking up, not looking down, not staring this way and that. NDD 474. This is called proper resort as guarding.
Okay, thank you. Now, the meaning resort, sometimes we have another English word, you call it like domain. Is what is your domain, right? If you have good friend is like your environment. Okay, domain means kind of like environment. So if you have a good friend as a support, if you have a good friend who can help you, so he or she will teach you or help you in a way. If you say something wrong, they will help you. Okay. If you have no confidence, they also help you, rectifies one view. So it's very important to have somebody, your friend should have faith, sada, all right, Sīla, virtue, learning, sutta, generosity, chaga, and then understanding, panya. So this 5 is considered as we call it the treasure, their inner treasure. So if we can have friends with such good values, so this is a good result for us in terms of support. Now, we also rely on our good friend. You also need to guide your eyes, all right? So this how a bhikkhu means that if he go for alms round, how he should guide his eyes. Now, next one. Okay, next person. Brother Lim, Toho Lim. You can read this one.
51,
Yes, yes.
What is proper resort as anchoring? It is the four foundations of mindfulness on which the mind is anchored. For this is said by the Blessed One. Bhikkhus, what is a bhikkhu's resort? His own native place. It is these four foundations of mindfulness. This is called proper resort as anchoring.
Okay, thank you. So you
Thank
can see,
you.
thank you. So resort means domain or environment. So you rely on your friend as support, and then you guide your eyes, guide your sense faculty, and where should you put the mind? Okay, we should put our mind, anchor the mind in four foundation of mindfulness. All right. So in a way, we have support, we have guide the sense faculty, and we anchor. Anchor means how you put the mind. So where you put the mind, you put the mind for foundation mindfulness on the body, feeling, mind, and dhamma. Okay. Now, 53 talking about these sense faculties again. So sometimes in the Visuddhimagga, it mentioned earlier, later the text will expand some more. So it's like start to expand here. It's actually quite interesting to read because here you can find a lot of Pali also, and also some of the little bit information about Abhidhamma. Okay, Sumita, you can read up to here. So, yeah.
53. Now,
50
sorry.
Yeah, continue. Yes.
Now, as regards the virtue of restraint of faculties shown next to that in the way beginning, on seeing a visible object with the eye, herein he is a bhikkhu established in the virtue of patimokkha restraint. On seeing a visible object with the eye, on seeing a visible object with the eye consciousness that is capable of seeing visible objects and has borrowed the name eye from its instrument. But the ancients Purana said the eye does not see a visible object because it has no mind. The mind does not see because it has no eyes. But when there is the impingement of door, an object he sees by means of the consciousness that has eye sensitivity as its physical basis. Now, an idiom such as this is called an accessory locution, sasambarakata, like he shot him with his bow, and so on. So the meaning here is this: on seeing a visible object with eye consciousness.
Okay. So this is how restraint, right? When you see something, right? So now this part is actually explain the process of seeing. So actually you can see the people, the Purana, the ancient people means the ancient teacher, ancient commentator. They made a sentence like this, which is actually, it sounds very simple in English, but actually it says a lot. The eye does not see a visible object because it has no mind. We have to think about our physical eyes. Our physical eyes, let's say, it sees visible object, but let's say if we do not have any consciousness, right? Let's say, for example, dead body, the eye is still there, all right? But dead body has no mind because the body, the mind already died, right? So that's why the eye does not see a visible object because it has no mind, and then the mind does not see, right? Because it has no eyes. So this kind of simple English really needs some time to think about that. But what do we see? How do we see? We see is when, so we call it the contact. The impingement means the contact. The door means the eye door and the visible object. So when the eye door and visible object come together, contact impingement, then there will be eye consciousness. All right. So eye consciousness, And eyes consciousness based on the eye sensitivity means the retina. Okay, so this part actually just say, for example, you have the eye door or eye base or door, and then you pass the visible object, and then by the eye consciousness. Okay, and then you also need to be based on the eye sensitivity. Eye sensitivity is actually this one, retina. Okay, eye sensitivity. So this means that we can see like this, based on the door, base, and visible object, so internal base and external base, then eye consciousness will arise. Okay, and eye consciousness cannot see if without all this function. So that's why we call it accessory collusion, means that we need many things together or different things together to see. Not just you can see by yourself. If you have no good eye, you cannot see. If there is no visible object, you cannot see. And if something wrong with your retina, you cannot see. So like this, all right? So this part actually, they explain the process of vipassana already. So that's how we need to restrain at the moment of seeing. Okay. Now it's talking about how do we restrain? So not apprehend the sign, not apprehend the particular. All right. So this part actually is more on the how we the process of saying. So next person. Okay. Vera? Yeah. Vera, you can read this one. 54.
Good evening, Saiji.
Good evening. Yes.
Apprehends neither the signs. He does not apprehend the sign of woman or man, or any sign that is a basis for defilement, such as the sign of beauty and etc. He stops at what is merely seen, nor the particulars. He does not apprehend any aspect classed as hand, foot, smile, laughter, talk, looking ahead, looking aside, etc., which has acquired the name particular anubhyanjana because of its particularizing anubhyajanato defilements because of its making them manifest themselves. Like the elder Mahatissa who dwelt at Tetiapabata, who saw a mass of bones instead of a woman going on the road. Paragraph 55.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
So
Saiji.
for this, we have to look at the paragraph 55. So it's a long story here. So what? How can I disappear it? Mhm. Okay, this is a interesting story. So next person read first. Yeah. Guat Ngo, you can read this story first. 55. Yes.
Okay. It seemed that as the elder was on his way from Chetiyapabata to Anuradhapura for alms, a certain daughter-in-law of a clan who had quarreled with her husband and had set out early from Anuradhapura, all dressed up and tricked out like a celestial nymph to go to her relative home, saw him on the road, and being low-minded, she laughed a loud laugh, wondering, what is that? The elder looked up and finding in the bone of her teeth the perception of foulness, ugliness. He reached arahantship, and it was said, he saw the bone that were her teeth, and kept in mind his first perception, and standing on that very spot, the elder became an arahant. But her husband, who was going after her, saw the elder and asked, Venerable Sir, Did you by any chance see a woman? The elder told him. Whether it was a man or woman that went, I noticed not. But
Yeah.
only that on this high road there goes a group of bones.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Now,
you.
this story is about a monk. He was practicing meditation, all right? So then he was on the way, then there was a woman, she dressed up, she quarreled with the husband, and then she want to disturb the monk, so she laughed aloud. But when she saw, he heard the sound, he looked up, so he only see her teeth, right? See the teeth, and then he get the perception of foulness. Then by practice on this, he become arahant. So by this means that he didn't grasp the sign of a woman or a woman wearing a beautiful dress. So he only see the bones of the teeth, right? So that's why when the husband asked her this question, do you see a woman? Then he answer, I didn't see a man or woman. Okay, because he practicing so hard, he only see a group of bones. Okay, so his mind, there's no man, no woman. He only see, because when he see the teeth, he developed there. So from there, he only can observe the bones. So he didn't grasp the sign of man and woman. All right. So that's the story here on the paragraph 55. So I didn't put down because it's a long paragraph. So this means that he didn't apprehend the sign of man and woman. Because when you apprehend the sign of man and woman, then you will say, oh, this man is beautiful, this man is handsome, that girl, that woman is more beautiful. So he stopped at merely seeing. So this is called how we restrain the eye faculty. And then you don't grasp a particular, like it's a hand, the foot, or simile. It's like somebody laughing, somebody is talking, and so on, right? So if you are going to look at detail there, and then the defilements will arise. Okay, that's how you should practice according to this Mahatissa. He only see a mass of bone. He didn't see a woman. That's how he developed until he become Arahant. Now the footnote there. So when you read the Visuddhimagga, so always try to read the footnote, because if you print out if you have the original book, it's actually the footnote is very small, but the footnote actually is very interesting because the footnote is the sub commentary, right? So it's actually it's a commentary, sub commentary that explain more what is the sign of beauty and what's the meaning of he stopped at merely seeing. All right. So you try to read the footnote. So here I get information from footnote. Okay, somebody read the footnote. Wendy? Yes. Footnote 15. Yes.
Good evening, Sayaji.
Yes, okay.
Thank you. As the elder was going along, occupied only in keeping his meditation subject in mind, since noise is a taunt to those in the early stage, he looked up with the noise of the laughter, wondering what is that. Perception of fullness is the perception of bonus. For the elders was then making known his meditation subject. The elders, it seemed as soon as he saw his teeth bonus while she was laughing, got the contemplate signs with excess jhana, because he had developed the preliminary work well. While he stood there, he reached the first jhana. Then he made that the basis for insight, which is augmented until he attained the path one after the other and reached destruction of cankers.
Okay, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Thank you. All right. Now, that's mean that when he see that woman, because of that sound, so he just look up and he saw the teeth. So teeth, it means that bones there, and it's called foulness, because when we looking at our body, 32 body parts. So Asubha, we get the foulness. And here is particular on the bonds. He make it as meditation subject, right? So he get to access jhana. Access jhana means before jhana, because he always practice bonds. That's why he had developed this preliminary work well. So that's why by practicing this, he get first jhana. From first jhana, he change it to vipassana inside. Then from there, he practiced until he developed a supramundane path and all the way to Arahant. Okay, so this means that he practiced based on jhana and go for vipassana later. That's how he practiced. He didn't see a woman going on the road. What he see is just not a man or a woman. What he just see is on the highway, he see there goes a group of bonds. Okay, so he only see bonds walking, not man or woman walking. So it's interesting the way he explained it. So Mahatissa. Now all these are story I think mentioned in the Sri Lankan story. So this place should be Sri Lankan, right? Sri Lankan or elsewhere. Okay, now we are talking about requisite. So we have 4 requisite. First one will be on the rope. So 4 requisite. Second one will be on arms, foot. And next one will be on resting place. Then will be on medicine. Okay. So now the text here is a standard text. Normally from the Pali they translate here, but at least we get to know what's the purpose of the requisites like robes, arms, foot, and so on. Okay. Next person, Sister Go. Yes. Yeah. Can I read this one?
As regard the next kind called virtue concerning requisites, here is the text. Reflecting wisely, he uses the rope only for protection from cold, for protection from heat, for protection from contact with flies, wind, burning, and creeping things, and only for the purpose of concealing the private parts. Reflecting wisely, he uses alms food neither for amusement, nor for intoxication, nor for smartening, nor for embellishment, but only for the endurance and continuance of this body, for the ending of discomfort, and for assisting the life of purity. Thus, I shall put a stop to all feelings, and shall not arouse new feelings, and I shall be healthy and blameless, and live in comfort.
Okay.
Reflecting wisely.
Yeah, okay. You want to read counting? Yeah, can also. Just read. Yeah.
Reflecting wisely, he uses the resting place only for the purpose of protection from cold, for protection from heat, for protection from contact with flies, wind, burning, and creeping things, and only for the purpose of warding off the perils of climate and enjoying retreat. Reflecting wisely, he uses the requisite of medicine as cure for the sick, only for protection from a reason, hurtful feelings, and for complete immunity from affliction.
Okay, thank you. So this is called four types of requisites. So sometimes you might have doubts. For example, like evening time, you are taking something like medicine. So you worry if you are breaking the precept. So as long as your medicine is for protection, right, when you take some gastric medicine, so it's from protection from the horizon of hurtful feeling, right? And reduce the affliction or painful feeling. Then you have no doubts. So this for meditator or for bhikkhu. But actually it's good to read. So for us to know what's the purpose of the robe. Robes mean clothes also. And what's the purpose of alms food? What's the purpose of resting place? And what's the purpose of medicine? Okay. And this is another one. So all these are just extra knowledge. Some we can take as for meditation, but some are just extra knowledge. But that never mind, it's just a kind of like read, right? Okay, next person. Tan CF, brother. Is it brother or sister? Tan CF. Can you read this one?
Hello, Saiki.
Okay,
And
yes.
as livelihoods, purification is to be undertaken by means of energy. So virtues dependent on requisite is to be undertaken by means of understanding. For that is accomplished by understanding, because one who possesses understanding is able to see the advantages and the dangers in requisite. So one should abandon greed for requisite and undertake the virtue by using requisite obtained lawfully and properly, after reviewing them with understanding in the way of foresight.
Okay, thank you. Now this part is livelihood.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, normally talking about like monks, how they get livelihood, right? But for lay people, as long as your livelihood is okay, means that not stealing, not killing, and so on, then it's okay, good enough already. Okay, yeah. So, and also you need to see advantage and danger, because sometimes when we have requisite, like we have food, we have a medicine, sometimes they are good because they're helpful to us, so we call it advantage. But sometimes we can have attachment to them, right? So we call it danger here. So we should abandon the greed for requisites. Okay, so we should use it in a rightful way. So that's important here. Okay, now this is this one actually more for monks, okay, for bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. So anyway, we can read also for your understanding. Wiling, can you read this one? 1 to 4? Yeah.
Herein reviewing is of two kinds. At the time of receiving requests and at the time of using them. For using, perispoga is brainless in one who at the time of receiving robes, etc. Reviews them either as mere elements or as repulsive, and puts them aside for later use, and in one who reviewed them choose as the time of using them.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this one is explain what is so when they receive the requisite like food, especially food, right? So there are two ways. By the time they receive the food, or another time is the time of using it, right? So when you receive it, so you can see them as four great elements, or you can see them as repulsive. Repulsive means the nature of, especially like food. So of course, it's not easy to see the food as repulsive, but we can see like when you swallow the food, the food is digest, then it become not nice at all. Or even the ropes, when the rope is clean, but the moment it touch our body, the ropes means our clothes, okay? So when the moment it touch our body, so it become dirty because our body is dirty. The robe might not be dirty or the clothes might not dirty, but our body naturally we sweat a lot. So it become disgust. So this is called how we review. For example, if you have buy new things, new clothes, you don't want the attachment to them, then you can see them in terms of four great elements or try to see them as asubha, repulsiveness. Now, this part is interesting for the requisite. How should we use it? This is for those in the Sangha. They should use it as there are four kinds of use: thief, theft, debts, inheritance, or as a master. Okay. So somebody read. Okay. Sister Pang Ai Chong. Yeah, you can read 1 to 5. You need to unmute. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Now.
There are four kinds of use. Use as theft, use as debt, use as inheritance, use as a master. Herein, used by the one who is unvirtuous and makes use of requisites, even sitting in the midst of the community, is called use as debt. Use without reviewing by one who is virtuous is used as a debt. Therefore, the rope should be reviewed every time it is used, and the arms would lump by lump. One who cannot do this should review it before the meal, after the meal, in the first watch, in the middle watch, and in the last watch. If dawn breaks on him without his having reviewed it, he finds himself in the position of one who has used it as a debt. Also, the resting place should be reviewed each time it is used. Recourse to mindfulness, both in the accepting and the use of medicine, is proper. But while this is so, though there is an offense for one who uses it without mindfulness after mindful acceptance, there is no offense for one who is mindful in using after accepting without mindfulness. Footnote 34. Used as a theft, used by one who is unworthy, and the requisites are allowed by the Blessed One to one in his own dispensation who is virtuous, not unvirtuous. And the Sawaji, please scroll down, scroll. And the generosity of the givers is towards one who is virtuous, not towards one who is not, since they expect great fruit from their actions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So this is interesting to say. The first one, if somebody is unvirtuous, then we call it used by theft, right? So it's referred to those in the Sangha, right? So if used without reviewing, so use and debts. So these two. Now, what is the use of theft? Because here it said that because the Buddha allow it to one who is virtuous, means that also because devotee, they want to offer requisites to somebody who is virtuous, not the unvirtuous. So if they use it, so means that they are stealing it. In a way, because they are stealing the merits, because the devotees, they hope to get some merits. But those people who are unvirtuous, they have no merit at all. So this is called used by theft. Used by reviewing, right? So they need to review every time they use it or at the time they receive it. So this for Sangha. So for resting place, they need to review every time they use it. So it seems to have lost a lot of rules and regulation, but it's actually all these are linked to mindfulness, right? The moment they accept it, especially like medicine, the resting place, the food, and so on, they need to be mindful, right? So, and review it. So that's why to be a monk also not easy. So many rules and regulation. Okay, I think we can just stop for a while. So today is much more on Sīla, but it's just for some are general knowledge. But just now, some of them we can use it. Use it means like those how we maintain the restraint on our sense faculty. All right. So we just break 5 minutes, then we continue because I think it's good to break for a while. Okay, 5 minutes.